So, if you were on class yesterday or if you watched it, I went over the first sutra. So the first sutra is now begins the practice of yoga. And we really took the asana and pranayama practice and even a little bit of drishti practice and used those tools to embody that first word now. So now is the practice of yoga, is really what we worked to create. So today I want to add in the thoughts of the second sutra. Again, these can be translated in slightly different variations, but it's something along the lines in translation of yoga calms the fluctuations of the mind. So you think about this thread, is that now begins the practice of yoga. You work to get present. The practice is in stepping into the now. And then once you're in that space, yoga then calms the fluctuations of the mind. So I think it's an expectation or a goal that a lot of us, know about or hope to achieve. And so I want you to think about that as we move through today, and actually maybe less thinking about it and more seeing if you can move through those practices of continuing to drop into the now, and then having an awareness and an observation of how that can help to calm the fluctuations of your mind. You probably already experienced something like that. You go into yoga, you're feeling some certain sort of way, you're feeling crazy or scatterbrained or upset or whatever, then you practice and you walk out in like a whole different mood. So this is just giving kind of that background intention to it. So with that, let's go ahead and get started in child's pose. If you're just joining, take a moment. If you have a block, go grab your block. If you have something that you know can be like an alternate for a block, grab one. It's not necessary, but it is recommended in this practice. Settle your hips back toward your heels. Outstretch your hands and let your forehead come down to the mat. If child's pose is not a position that you can hold for an extended period of time, then just take a comfortable seat. Because I'd like you to begin in stillness. And allow this moment of stillness to be a space where you can just check in. Notice first how your body feels. Allow this awareness to scan from the macro, the whole body, to exploring the micro bits and corners and curves of your body. Step out of creation of your breath and into observation of how you're breathing right now. Notice where you're breathing from. Listen to the tempo of your breath. Listen even deeper to the transition between breaths. Become aware of your internal states, your thought processes that are melded with emotion. And so scan the emotional body. And take a deep breath in from your belly, expanding up to your collarbones. And as you empty out, allow your ribs and your belly to cinch in towards your spine. And again, breathe in
Allow the front body and side body to expand. And as you exhale, allow your front body to draw in. One more time, deep inhale so that your front, side, and back body expand. Slowly exhale as you ground in towards your spine. On your next breath, rise up into a tabletop position. Cow pose, breathe in. Round your spine into cat as you exhale. Inhale, cow pose, spiral your inner thighs back, heart forward. Exhale, push the floor away to cat. 2 more times, breathe in, cow pose, open up. Exhale, round your back, cat. Take neutral spine and extend your legs out into plank. Make circles with your shoulders over your wrists. As you do, shift weight into the base knuckles of your fingers. Slow down your circles and see if you can really become aware that you're placing weight into all 5 knuckles of your fingers. And then reverse directions. Wake up that grounding point of the base knuckle. Stay grippy with your fingertips and maybe even light on the middle knuckle. Come back to center, steady in your plank. Push the earth away so you're strong through your shoulders. And then slowly lower to the mat. Slow, go for 3. Strong quads for 2. Exhale, lower all the way down. Hug your elbows in towards your spine. Inhale, curl up, baby cobra. Exhale, roll yourself down. Squeeze your shoulder blades away from your ears to lift you up, baby cobra. Exhale, roll down. One more time, extension through your thoracic spine. Hold here. Bring your elbows to where your hands are as you slide your forearms forward, Sphinx pose. Lift up from the base of your skull. Extension in your thoracic spine. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then tuck your chin towards your chest. Round your upper back like you're creating a cat spine. And can you draw your front ribs up towards your back ribs so that your upper back gets really flexed? Inhale, cow pose. Open up your stomach and your chest. Again, push through your forearms and your palms. And bring your upper back into flexion. It will feel the resistance because your low back is staying in a slight extension. So you really have to work upper abdomen and your lats. Inhale, curl up, baby cobra. One more time, head tucked, chin tucked. Push the earth away. Spread your shoulder blades so your back is rounded. Pull your ribs in to lift your back ribs up towards the ceiling. And then release. All the way down to your stomach and your chest. Plant your hands back where your elbows were. Tuck your toes. Firm up your quads. Squeeze your upper back. Draw your navel to spine to shoot up into high plank. Downward facing dog. Maintain the length of your downward facing dog. Part of what helps to land us in the present moment is effort. Is moving through challenge. And so consider that all of these postures have an air of challenge in them, just so that it will zap all of your senses into the moment. Pedal push your heels. Move your hips, but stay really strong and grounded through your palms. Grip the mat with your fingertips. Push the earth away through the base knuckles of your pointer finger and the base knuckle of your thumb. Squeeze your forearms together and rotate the heads of your shoulders away from your ears. Full breath. Look forward. Step your feet all the way up towards your hands at the top of your mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breath out. Inhale, mountain pose. Rise tall, push your feet down. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga Dandasana as you exhale. Breathe in, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take just one inhale. Lengthen out your exhale. Look forward, step your feet to your hands. Lift halfway up. Exhale, forward folds. Rise, mountain, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga Dandasana, exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Slow down your breath out. Step your feet to your hands. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Mountain pose, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. One breath in. Exhale, look forward. Step or hop to your hands. Lift and lengthen. Forward folds. Rise up, mountain. Chair pose, sit your hips back and down. Bring your feet all the way to touch. Shift your hips down a little bit lower so you feel the weight of your body ground your feet. And then move the weight into the big toe ball mound as you curl your hips or heels up. Keep your hips low. Squeeze your inner thighs together like you're wrapping your tailbone to the back of the room. So your inner thighs are strong, and hug your shins and inner ankles in towards one another. Focus your gaze on a singular spot to help drop into the moment now. And then breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift and lengthen. Step back into your high plank and then hold your high plank. Come down onto your knees. If you have a block, you're going to bring the block to the lowest height underneath your right hand. If you don't have a block, you can still do this movement without one. So hold the block underneath your right hand and extend your legs out into plank. Shift the weight into your right hand and keep your hips steady. Stretch your left arm straight forward until your bicep is in line with your ear. Stabilize with your right palm, right shoulder. Bring your left hand down. Shift the weight into your left hand, but keep your hips level. Stretch the block straight forward. Hold. Bring the block down. Move your left hand straight forward. Full flexion of the shoulder, bicep in line with ear. Place your left hand down. Reach your right arm straight forward. Bring your right arm down one more time each side. Left arm reaches, strong legs. Left hand down. Right arm reaches. Right hand down. Bring your knees down to the mat. Switch sides. Block underneath your left hand. Come into your plank pose. Shift weight into your left hand. Reach your right arm forward. Right hand down. Grab the block. Left hand forward. Left hand down. Right arm for 4. And down. Left hand 3. And down. Right hand 2. And down. Left arm 1. And place the block down. Hold your plank pose. Shift back to downward facing dog. Stretch your right leg all the way up towards the ceiling. Keep your right hip in line with your left hip so your hips are level. And then squeeze your right heel in towards your glutes. Squeeze it as close as you can so you feel your hamstring engage. Keep stretching your right knee up towards the ceiling, level pelvis. Pull the pit of your belly in and think your hamstring strength matches your core strength as you draw your thigh bone in towards your chest. Rounded spine, head dropped. Kick back and up, three-legged dog. Straighten out your hamstring and your knee. Keep your leg lifted high. Curl your heel towards your glutes slowly. Not just by dropping the knee joint or flexing the knee joint, but by squeezing your hamstring. Maintain the strength of your hamstring. Suck your navel to spine. Bring your thigh in towards your chest. Hold. Place your right foot between your hands. Drop your left knee down to the ground. Anjaneyasana. Inhale. Sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale. Place your hands down on the ground. Extend your right leg into a half split fold. One more time, bend your knee. Inhale, reach up, low lunge. Exhale, hands to the mat. Straighten out your right leg. Flex your toes towards your face, forward folds. This time, bend into your right knee. Place your hands on your knee. Squeeze your left heel up towards your glutes. Move your pelvis up and back towards your left heel without letting your left foot drop. Maybe you hold here, or you grab onto your foot and squeeze the heel towards glute. Keep engaging your hamstring tight. Then behind your left thigh. If you have the balance, stretch your right arm up towards the ceiling. Breathe 3 big breaths and imagine your right heel is dragging towards the back of your mat so you feel your right hamstring engage, holding stable in the knee flexion. Your left hamstring is engaged. And then exhale, release both hands down to the ground. Lift your back knee up. Twist your right arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Roll onto the pinky edge side of your left foot, side plank, stack your feet. Push the earth away, engage your obliques. Lift your right foot 2 inches off of your left. Curl your right heel towards your glute. That same that same hamstring engagement is creating this action. Hold there, or if you can touch your foot, grab onto your foot, but keep hugging heel to glute as you kick into your hand. Take one more big breath. Exhale, release into high plank. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe. Close your eyes. Create a quality breath. Stretch your left leg up towards the ceiling. Keep your hips level. Curl your heel towards your glute without lowering your knee. Squeeze right behind your thigh. Pull your heel an inch closer. Now draw your navel to spine first and see if from that space you can move your whole left thigh bone forward in towards your chest. Rounded cat spine. Kick back. Extend your leg. Notice the feeling of hamstring is long. Curl your heel in towards your glute, shortening and tightening the hamstring. Pull your belly in. Can you hold in your mind the strength of your hamstring and your core together? Curl forward, knee to chest. Place your foot between your hands. Drop your back knee down. Big inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, place your hands on the ground, half split. Straighten out your left leg. Flex your toes towards your face. One more time, low lunge. Inhale to float your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands on the ground. Straighten out your left leg. Inhale, shift forward, pause. Bring your hands just to your left knee this time. Curl your right heel in towards your glute. Pull the pit of your belly in and up, like you're sucking up from the floor. Your hips will move up and back towards your right heel. The strength of your right hamstring and your right glute will determine this lock of heel towards glute. And then your hand just comes in to get a deeper stretch through the quad, but don't rely on the hand to hold the strength of flexing your knee, right? You get that? The strength of your hamstring flexes your knee. Your hand is just there to deepen the stretch through your quad. Now pull energetically your left heel back. Feel your left hamstring strong. Reach your left arm all the way up and breathe. Steady gaze, quality breath. One more moment of effort to drop into this moment. Now begins the practice. From this space, the fluctuations of the mind will calm. One more breath. And then slowly release both hands down, right foot down. Twist your left hand up towards the ceiling. Lift your right knee up as well and take your side plank. Heels stacked. Push the earth away with your right arm. Feel the right shoulder, lat, oblique, engaging to hold the right side body lifted. Lift your left foot up. Heel to glute. Really tight flexion in your left knee. Maybe you just hold here, maybe you grab your foot. If you're just curling, it's okay. Stay reaching up. Breathe. 3. Can you squeeze your left glute and your hamstring a little bit more to tighten up that knee flexion? And then exhale, release. Both hands down, high plank. Come down onto your knees. And then grab your block. Okay. Bring your block underneath your right hand. Again, if you don't have a block, you're going to be fine to do this movement without one. Lift up into plank. Extend your left arm straight forward and your right leg straight back. Release down, high plank. Take the block forward with your right hand, left leg back, and down. Again, left arm, right leg lift. Push the floor away with your right hand and lower. Right hand, left leg lift and lower. Sometimes are better than others. Some rounds are better than others. Keep with it. Left hand, right leg and lower. Think of engaging the whole back body to lift your left leg and your right arm strong. And lower back down. Come down onto your knees. Shift the block underneath your left hand. Notice how it takes all of that effort to focus into the moment, and that's when usually we create our one that feels super stable, as we're so concentrated. So add in this side your practices that will ground you. Steady gaze at one little mark on your mat. Steady breath. Extend your legs out into plank. Start with your right hand and your left leg. Squeeze the entire back body. And lower down. Left hand, right leg. And lower. Right hand, left leg. And lower. Left hand, right leg. And lower. One more time. Right hand, left leg. Left hand, right leg. And release down into tabletop position. Move the block off to the side. Downward facing dog. Pedal push your heels. Let your hips move side to side. Keep grounding through your hands pushing into the mat. You just worked up a ton of strength in shoulder flexion, so use it here. Pushing the earth away to feel the strength around your upper back, but still create space for your neck by rolling your shoulders away from your ears. So you should feel right on the outside of your armpits engage. Deep breath in. Exhale, look forward, step or hop to your hands. Halfway lift and lengthen. Forward fold. Rise all the way up, mountain pose. Big breath. Exhale, release your hands together at your heart. Reach your arms up, mountain pose. Sit back and down into chair pose. Lift your heels up high. Spiral your inner thighs together. Squeeze your legs into the midline. Engage up through the pit of your belly. Lower your heels down slowly, hands to your heart. Airplane with your left leg back. Arms back too. Good. And then hold, and let's wake up the hamstrings again by bending your right knee. You're hovering your upper body and left leg on the same plane, and then push the earth away. Just one more like that. Feel the back of your right leg squeeze and pull your belly in to support your low back and push the earth away. Hold 2 times with the left leg. Curl your heel towards the glute, but keep your head leg high, and then extend. And one more time, curl in, bending your knee, and extend. Bend your right knee, drop your toes down. Crescent warrior, big breath. Reach your arms all the way up. Bend your right knee deeper. Push the earth away with your right foot. Pull up through your core, inhale. Open arm twist to the right as you exhale. Reverse. Left arm reaches back behind your left ear. Windmill your left hand down to the ground, or if you have a block, take the block, twisting half moon. Hold your twisting half moon. Left hand on the ground or a block, or you're on left fingertips to create more space. Curl your left heel towards your glutes. You hover here or you grab your foot with your hand. Hold. Keep squeezing in from the strength of your hamstring. Push the earth away with your right foot and open up your chest. One more deep breath. Exhale, release into a forward fold at the top of your mat. Separate your feet out wide. Feet wide, and then stand on your palms for gorilla pose. So big hamstring stretch. You're gonna slide your palms underneath your feet so your toes go up to the creases in your wrists. Let your head drop. If it feels good, just wiggle your toes around, maybe massage your wrists and the heel of your hand. Focus in on your breath. Use effort to create a breath from this moment. And then release your feet. Toe heel your feet together. Bend your knees, Utkatasana chair pose. Hips low, heels high, so you wake up. Extension through your ankles. You also wake up your toes. Lower your heels. Shift weight to your left foot. Airplane with your right leg back and arms back. Level out your head and your right heel. Bend your left knee, feeling the back of your left leg engage and push the earth away. As you bend, you squeeze your hamstring and then push the earth away. Curl right heel to right glutes and extend. One more time, squeeze in tight behind the knee. And as you extend the leg, bend your left knee, crescent warrior touch down. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Open arm twist to the left as you exhale. Reverse your warrior, breathe in. And twisting half moon, right hand to the ground or a block. I love a block because it just gives me so much extra space. And then reach your left hand up, right leg up. Try and level out your pelvis. Keep the pelvis level as you squeeze your right heel in. Your right knee stays lifted. Stabilize with your left quad. Squeeze your left shoulder blade to your spine to find the twist. Deep in the belly and upper back. Take one more big breath. If you have your foot, you grab your foot, but you stay strong in your hamstring. And then exhale, everybody release. Separate your feet hip distance. Take reverse gorilla. So you're gonna take your hand, turn your fingers towards your heels, and step on the top of your hand. So your wrists are opening up, and drop your head. Close your eyes. Tip the weight of your hips ever so slightly forward. Think of reaching your sit bones up high as your heels anchor low, lengthening the back of your legs. One more breath. Release your hands. Toe heel your feet to touch. Sit your hips low, chair pose. Big breath, lift your heels high. Can you keep reaching your heels up as you lower your hips for 5, 4, 3, 2, toes pose, land. Stretch your arms forward. Flex your spine by engaging your core and keep pulling your front body back as you reach your arms forward, and maybe you lower your heels without dropping your hips. Hold there. Feel the thighs touching onto the chest or your belly, and then lower your hips if you haven't already. Good. Let me remove my mic for a second. Come all the way onto your back. Okay. Whew. All right, you guys. This is good work. So come onto your back and bring your legs into tabletop position. Inner arches of your feet are together. Separate your knees just hip distance. And then draw your knees slightly back until you feel the natural curve of your lumbar spine and your tailbone grounded. Stretch your arms up towards the ceiling and flex your palms. But then pull your upper arm bones down into the socket so your upper back feels grounded. Okay. Keep your knees exactly where they are over your hips. And then curl your chin towards your chest, draw your front ribs in and roll up. See if you can bring your wrist to your knees. And then roll your spine all the way down. Inhale, curl up, hold your wrists to your knees, and then roll all the way back down. This time, roll all the way up. Bring your knees a little wider and bring your forearms to the inside of your knees. Now push your forearms into your knees, but don't let your knees open any wider. They resist. As they resist, you've probably fired up a little bit more through the midline, and then breathe for 3. Squeeze the big toe ball mound and the inner heel together, 2. And then exhale, roll your upper body all the way down. Keep your hands as they are. Take a big breath. As you exhale, hands stay where they are. Roll up the tailbone and just the lumbar spine curls so your knees go to the outside of your upper arms. And then roll all the way down. Let your tailbone touch. And even keep stretching your knees slightly forward so you get that natural curve of your lumbar spine. Curl. 1 vertebra at a time, curl, pull your belly in as you roll up, knees to the outside of the triceps, and roll your knees all the way back down. Tailbone ground, low back lifts. 1 more time, curl up. This time you're gonna hold, knees to the outside of the upper arms, squeeze the knees into the upper arms. We'll feel that lift and float your tailbone an inch higher. Hold for 3. Notice if your belly wants to puff out, can you pull it in for 2? And then exhale, roll your knees back down. Okay, 1 more round, 1 set of 3. Take a big breath in. Exhale, curl up. Forearms and knees together so you're balancing on mid-back and roll all the way down. 2 more, curl up, balancing on the middle vertebra, and then roll down. And 1 more time, curl up, hold, 5. Hold, 4, engage your palms. Squeeze the inner arches of your feet together for 2. Pull your navel in, lift your chest and your tailbone an inch higher. And then exhale, roll all the way back down. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Rock side to side on your low back. Stretch your legs out long. Stretch your arms out long. Lengthen your whole spine. And then pull your knees in once again. Roll to the right. Push yourself all the way up. Come into a tabletop position. Let me reclip my mic for a second. Okay, tabletop position. Cow pose, inhale. As you exhale into cat, bring your left heel towards your left glute as tight as you can and round your low back. Inhale, cow pose. Open up your stomach and your chest. Pull your right heel in as you round into cat. So hamstring and core are engaging at the same time. Cow pose, breathe in. Do your left heel in, round your spine as much as you can and tighten that knee flexion. Inhale, cow. Right heel in, round your spine, pit of the belly draws in. Inhale, cow pose. 1 more time each side. Exhale your left heel in, squeeze tight. Inhale, cow pose. Last time, right heel in, navel in. Cow pose. Neutral spine, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath. Look forward. Step or hop to your hands. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Rise all the way up tall. Push your feet down. Reach up to mountain pose.
Exhale, hands together at your heart. Okay, pause for a moment. Look up at the screen. So if you haven't caught on yet, we're gonna play around with crow. It's a challenging posture, I know. And also I feel like even for people that know how to do the pose, like it looks like they can do it, for some reason they don't like it. And I feel when I get in those spaces of like, I can do this, but I don't like it. Something doesn't feel right about it. It's usually because I'm not engaging properly and it just feels like I'm like dumping heavy into my joints. So we're all warmed up. We have like the neuromuscular patterns, hopefully, that are starting to fire together, like your core and your hamstring. So with that, I want you to first start in a really, really low crow. So watch me first so that you see just how low it is. And it's really uncomfortable just to get into the position. It feels like you're super scrunched and compact and like, how could you ever move from here? That's what I want you to get into, that kind of position where your upper arm bones and triceps come to your shins. Boom, right in there, right in there. So tight that you're like so rounded in your upper back that it takes some work to lift your heels and tip forward and then lift one foot. You're super low again. As you lift this foot, think squeezing the heel to hamstring, and then maybe you can lift the other heel up towards your hamstring. Stay super low. Okay, you try. You might have already hopped right up into it, but try again. Start super scrunched low, and it's less of a lifting up to come forward and more of just a tipping forward into it. You tip forward, and then you lift one foot with energy. Then you lift the other foot, and hopefully you can feel your core. Take 2 more breaths, and exhale, lower your feet all the way down. Okay, you can try it one more time. We're gonna do a couple more rounds of crows, so if you want, just take a forward fold, stretch out your hamstrings, or keep trying those really, really low crows. Again, you wanna stay low so that your back is rounded, your spine is rounded. Most of the time, just doing that, bringing in the body to the right position, will engage the proper muscles. So hopefully you're feeling it a ton in your core to hold that flexion of a low spine. If you're forward folding, don't worry about anything I just said. Just be in your forward fold, opening up your hamstrings. Okay. Second round. We're gonna now go to probably a more classic crow of what you might be used to seeing or practicing, where your knees will start on your triceps. So not your or your triceps to your shins, but your triceps to the outside, or the knees to the outside of your triceps. So you'll start here, a little bit higher. Your spine isn't as flexed, so you're gonna have to remember the strength of your core. Watch me if you're unsure. Tip forward, grip the mat with your fingertips. Lift one heel up. Don't let it be a dead fish foot. Squeeze the heel to glute so you feel the back of your leg engage and your belly engage. And then once it feels like you're strong, maybe even like trembling from the strength, then lift the other heel up. Good. Try it a few times. Think belly engages and hamstring at the same time. Stay away from like hopping both feet up. It's hard for our body to plan out what muscles to work when we're using momentum like that. So if you can really just lift one foot and get so strong up there that the other foot just floats up towards it, or you get lighter maybe on your bottom foot. Try like 2 more times of doing your crow. Grip the mat with your fingers. Squeeze hamstring, squeeze belly. One more time and hold for 3. If you have it, keep holding and breathing for 2. Take the belly that's puffing out and pull it up. One more breath. And then everyone find your way back into high plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to your stomach and your chest. Good job. Okay. Bend your knees. Windshield wiper your feet side to side. And so
yes, the asana is part of our practice, but if you remember what we talked about in the beginning is that we're just looking really ultimately to get into this practice of now. First, we must land in now. And so consider that, or if you consider that, hopefully it takes away a little bit of the ego or the pressure to have a pose look a certain way, and more so that you're acknowledging the effort that you put into it and how that really helped to focus your mind. Like maybe for a moment there was nothing else you were thinking about in that crow posture. And so that's the point that we want to get to. Those are the moments of now. Those are the moments when maybe you can see that your mind wasn't fluctuating as much because it was focused more on one thing. Okay. Extend your left leg. Reach back. Grab your right foot with your right hand and pull your heel towards your glute. But this time your hamstring is really relaxed. Okay, since we're grounded, you don't have to put in all of that work. More so, you're going to pull your heel towards your glute and maybe move your heel to the side of your glute so it can pass it. Think of pushing your right hip bone just gently down into the mat, maybe even curling the right hip bone up towards your lowest right rib. At the same time, stretch your right knee towards the back of your mat. And then kick into your hand. Kick back, but keep squeezing your hand into your foot so your right arm stays strong as you lift your chest up. Lift your left toes up. Stretch your left arm forward. Engage the whole back body. Pull the sides of the throat back as you lengthen your neck. Reach through left fingers. Reach through left toes. One more breath. And then with control, release. And bend your left knee as you extend your right leg out nice and long. Reach back, grab your left foot with your left hand, and start by just stretching the quad as you pull your heel in towards your glute, or maybe to the outside of your hip. To refine this posture, stretch your left knee towards the back of your mat, and curl the front of your left hip bone. Curl up toward your lowest rib, almost like you're sucking the pit of the belly in and up. And kick your foot into your hand, but make your left arm so strong it's almost like it's resisting that kick back with your left foot. Lift your chest, your left arm bicep, shoulder should be strong. Reach your right toes up, point your toes, engage your right quad. Reach your right arm up, the right shoulder should be strong in flexion from all of that plank and block work. Holds. 3. Squeeze the back body as you open the front. Take a long breath. And release all the way down. Both knees bend, make a little pillow with your hands. Windshield wiper your feet side to side. Drop your feet, plant your palms. Inhale, upward facing dog. Push back to downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Look forward. Bend your knees. Strong arms, squeeze your forearms together, and then hop through to your seat. Good. Hold your seat. Extend your legs out nice and long. Take a big breath. Reach your arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Flex your toes towards your face. Micro bend behind your knees, and then hinge forward over your legs. And then just create the sense of drawing your thigh bones back in towards your hip sockets so that as your thigh bones pull back, the tailbone and sit bones flip up towards the ceiling or curl towards the back of your mat. And then maybe you can access a little bit more length in your low back. If you find that you're like super rounded here, it's okay. You're just stretching more through your hamstrings. If you want to stretch more through your back than your hamstrings, then just bend your knees even more. And you can really lengthen out your spine. And the same, similar like shape as to when we were standing on our feet. So it can be done multiple ways depending on your intention. Hold your forward folds. Add a little bit of strength into your quads wherever you are. Use the effort of engaging your quads to help focus your mind. And then maybe you can expand your awareness to feel the strength of your quads and the openness of your hamstrings. Curl yourself all the way up towards the seat, and then stretch your arms forward and roll yourself all the way slowly down until the tips of your shoulders touch. Lift your toes, hold your low boat. Point through your toes, reach through your fingers and stay long through the sides of your neck. Holds. Draw your navel down. Stretch your arms up over your head, maybe biceps in line with your ears, or you stay reaching forward. Or you flutter back and forth with the arms. You're going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Let the work anchor the mind for 3, 2, and release all the way down. Plant your feet. Ankles are right underneath your knees. Ground your arms. And then curl your tailbone all the way up into a bridge pose. So after all that major hip flexion, spinal flexion, let yourself just bask in the opening of your pelvis and the opening of your spine. Still stay grounded in your feet, and your glutes, and your upper back. Take one more breath. Roll your spine all the way down, one vertebra at a time. And then we're going to do one more, either bridge, or if you're feeling up to it, take a full wheel. If you're taking full wheel, flip your hands so that your fingertips point towards your shoulders. Push through the feet and the arms equally. Reach all the way up. Breathe, 3 breaths. Slowly roll all the way back down. And once you're down, bring the soles of your feet together, your knees out wide. Place a hand on your heart and a hand on your stomach. Close your eyes. Drop into creating your breath. In one moment, drop in. Slide your knees in together. Pull your right knee towards your chest. Extend your left leg all the way out. Now, if you have a block, you have the option here to bring the block underneath your pelvis. If not, you're okay just doing this as you are on your back on the mat. If you're using a block, I'll show you. I would suggest starting with the lowest level, just so you don't have to exaggerate the posture as much, but you stay more subtle in the sensations as we cool down here. Feel the front of your left hip opening. Grab behind your knee, your right knee, and then slowly lengthen your right leg up towards the ceiling. Do it a couple times of just bending your right knee, letting the hamstring shorten, and then take your time to extend your leg and open the hamstring. Move slowly so that you're really hyper-focused on that movement of the back of your right leg. Hold your leg in the air, circle your ankle. Pull your knee in towards your chest. Move your knee just slightly off to the side. Maybe you can use your forearm to support your leg. If you want to grab the pinky edge side of your right foot for like a half happy baby variation, you can do so. Or you can just stay here. Less effort, but we've prepared for it now. So the bigness of the effort that we moved throughout practice with was just to continue to bring the awareness internally, continuing to shock the system, to draw our minds inward. And then after a while, the mind tends to settle there. And you can let go of the effort and just see if that awareness can stay on more subtle sensations. Draw your right knee towards your chest and place your right foot flat with your knee bent to switch sides. Left knee curls all the way up in towards your chest and extend your right leg out long. Feel the front of your right hip opening. Grab behind your knees, straighten and bend your leg a few times. Hold your left leg straight, circle your ankle. Reverse the direction. Hug your left knee in towards your chest. Open your left knee out to the side. Get a little bit of hip opening, inner thigh stretch. And then if you want to take the variation of a half happy baby, just grab on to the pinky edge side of your foot. Or you can just hold with a knee. Move towards less effort physically to see if you have trained the mind to stay within, to stay focused on subtler sensations. Hug your knee in, plant your left foot flat, plant your right foot flat. If you have the block underneath you, lift your hips and roll your spine down. Bring both knees in towards your chest and rock gently side to side. Let your knees land to the left as you stretch your right arm all the way out to the right. Take one deep breath in. As you exhale, imagine you're just melting deeper into the pose. With an inhale, float your knees through center and let your knees land over to the right. Extend your left arm out to the left. And in one moment, you drop in. And draw your knees to center. And then curl yourself up into a seat. You can rock up through center or roll to one side. Come into a comfortable seat. Hopefully, if you've been practicing with me, then you've had the time and conversation around really finding what a comfortable seat is for you. You're starting to get to know that seat a little bit better. If this is your first time, make sure that your low back is extended so that you're sitting on your sit bones and not your tailbone. Squeeze your shoulder blades in to broaden your chest. And then lengthen from your tailbone through the crown of your head. Close your eyes.
Slow down your breath. And in this moment, let go of all efforts. And allow yourself to just observe the effects of your practice. To be at this point of possibly understanding the second sutra. Yoga calms the fluctuations of the mind. Sit in this space for as long as you like, and know that I appreciate you showing up on your mats. I acknowledge you. Namaste.